Hello Aries, this is Ashley. We're going to be doing your mid-month September general reading. We're going to be looking at a strength, a challenge, and then the outcome for the middle of September 2021. And then we'll try and get some additional details of what you might be encountering for the middle of September. Alright, let's see here. So we'll get started. Go ahead and check down below for the link to the Cheroklo Connections website. That is the only way to book a personal reading with me. So if that's something you're interested in, you can check that out below. And please remember to like and subscribe and leave me a comment if you feel like this is your reading. So mid-September will be the week of the 12th. So let's see what we're getting here for Aries. The Two of Swords, and Chariot, and the Nine of Swords, Nine of Wands, Four of Swords, and the Hierophant, the King of Cups, the Ace of Cups, and the Strength card. And at the bottom of the deck we have the Seven of Pentacles. So certainly could be evaluating kind of where you're putting your energy. This could be a relationship or a work endeavor, a creative project. As I'm filming this, we're still in the new moon energy from the 6th of September. So there's a lot going on with that new moon that would indicate kind of a reevaluation of our efforts and where we're putting those. So that makes sense. So let's get into this. In your strength position for the middle of September, we have Awakening Genius. And so there could definitely be some sort of new inspired idea or kind of like a download that you receive that would kind of, it kind of has that feel to it. Like right now we have Uranus and Taurus, and Uranus is like the shocker, the awakener. And I'm kind of getting that there may be something that's coming through around the time of the new moon that is kind of inspiring you to see something a bit differently. We do have the Two of Swords, the Nine of Wands, and the King of Cups. So I think it's something that it's almost like there's something that you haven't seen. You can see the Two of Swords. Her eyes are covered. It's something that you haven't seen, but I don't think it's for lack of trying. I think it's just there's been like a strong focus on like working really hard. But when this Awakening Genius takes place for you as your strength for the middle of September, it's going to be something that is speaking to your heart like very deeply. So we'll get some more detail and see what this might be. We do have some love cards on the board. We'll try and narrow down what part of life this is talking about. But it could feel like a sudden epiphany, kind of. Let's see here. Why do we have the Two of Swords? And the Queen of Pentacles. And the Eight of Cups. For the Nine of Wands, we're getting the Six of Cups and the Seven of Swords. And for the King of Cups, we're getting, there's that Two of Swords again. And the Hanged Man. We do have a couple of people showing up here and the Six of Cups. So, could be dealing with a Capricorn, a Pisces, or a Scorpio. We do have all the suits here, so it could be any sign. Those are just the ones coming through most strongly. So I feel like on some level, some sort of decision has been needed to be made. And I feel like it's been needed for a period of time here. We have this Two of Swords, Queen of Pentacles, and the Eight of Cups. And I feel like someone here has known they've needed to walk away from something. Could very well be a relationship here. With the Six of Cups energy. But I feel like it's been a decision that's been needing to be made for some time. And I feel like it almost feels like kind of, not like stubborn energy in a bad way, but like stubborn energy. I mean, we're talking about Capricorn energy here, right? And so Capricorn energy is going to be something that works hard and keeps working hard for an end goal, usually of stability. And so it's like almost like a refusal to quit on a relationship here. It could very well be that someone was trying to stick out this relationship because it offered some financial security as well. And just a lot of, like, there was a lot of emotional and physical effort put into this relationship. And so, like, you can see this particular character is walking away from 8 cups. And so it's like almost like an avoidance to call it quits because there's been so much time and effort and energy put into this, which makes sense with that Seven of Pentacles sitting at the bottom of the deck. And so with the Nine of, excuse my voice, I'm all froggy this morning. With the Nine of Wands, we have the Six of Cups and the Seven of Swords. It's like there could have been something really not good going on in this relationship. I do feel like it was a soul connection. But I feel like someone here was very self-serving Like, even though they were in a relationship, someone here was really worried about themselves. Now, there could have been lies and cheating going on with this being the Seven of Swords. But it more just feels kind of sneaky and snaky, you know, like someone here just being more concerned about themselves rather than the connection itself or even the other person in the relationship. And so I do feel like whoever this reading is for Aries, if this is resonating, I feel like you've tried for a long time to keep working on this and just like really battle through. Like, it's almost like you would take a hit and keep on coming, is what it feels like. Now with the King of Cups, we're getting the Two of Swords and the Hanged Man. And I think that this is that awakening genius. With that Hanged Man, I think you're beginning to see how you have been resisting letting this go. And something about this awakening, you've seen how like perhaps you've been keeping yourself stuck in this situation, like not wanting to see how this person was being sneaky, not wanting to call it quits because you'd put so much time and love into this. But I think what's really lovely about this awakening is I think that you're beginning to recognize that you have a depth to you that you didn't realize you had. Even if you had deep love for this person, I do feel like you're beginning to recognize your own depth. Like, if you look behind this King of Cups, it's like all lit up, right? And that's kind of, I mean, there's a lot of like light and color coming through on this awakening genius as well, and it kind of feels like a new dawn is what I'm feeling. And so I think that your strength for the month or mid-month of September is kind of recognizing just how much more you were bringing to the table. I don't think that was really a focus for you. I think you were just like, I'm just going to keep working on this. But I think that you're bringing so much more to the table. And I think you're starting to realize just how worthy you are of not having to tolerate stuff like this, right? And I think that based on how much you've persevered for this relationship, I think you'll be able to take that hard work that you've put into it and put it back into yourself, because that feels like really strong and powerful. It's almost like it could even feel like a deep intuitive hit rather than just like an epiphany. Like there's something about this that you haven't seen with that Two of Swords, but I think it's more like, I don't think you've seen what you're capable of. So, interesting. But that feels really nice. In the challenge position, we have the Moon. So, on some level, you might be experiencing challenges around this month's new moon and full moon, right? But it's interesting because I was just talking about that intuitive awareness here with the King of Cups. And with this being in the challenge position, I mean, it says take note of intuitive messages. And so it could be that it's kind of a new experience for you to really tap into that intuitive side of yourself. And that is what's serving as the challenge. And I'm kind of feeling like the reason why it's difficult is because perhaps you're always on the move here. We have the Chariot, the Four of Swords, and the Ace of Cups. Could be dealing with Cancer energy here. But something about the Chariot coming in here. Now the Chariot is an interesting card because you can see that she's got these two sphinxes. And on any depiction of the Chariot, the sphinxes are like the light and dark, or the sides of ourselves that are drawing the carriage forward, or the chariot forward rather. But they're not, there's no reins on them, right? And so, but what I'm really getting from this is like speed. It's like versus rest. You see this Four of Swords. It's almost like your challenge is slowing down enough to really tap into that intuitive information that's coming in. Let's get some more detail here. And again, with that Ace of Cups there at the bottom, I think that there's something like quite intensely moving underneath kind of some of this chaos. It's just a matter of getting tapped into it. So let's see a little bit more about why this might be your challenge for the middle of September. Here's the Chariot. There's the King of Pentacles. So we have the King and Queen of Pentacles. And the King of Cups again. Okay. With the Four of Swords, we have the Sun. So some Leo energy, Taurus, Scorpio. And the Nine of Wands again, right here off to the side. So that's coming into play. Let's see, what do we have? The Ace of Cups. We have Justice. And the Tower. Okay. So a couple of things I'm getting here. When it comes to this strength row, we talked about that intuitive, emotional like hit that you were starting to see about yourself, that depth, that connection. And I feel like part of that gets stronger when you get out of this relationship. I'm saying that because we have the King and Queen of Pentacles here, and in this, now you can take it vice versa or interchangeable, gender not specific, but it seems in the tarot that it's the feminine that's walking away from that relationship that was a little bit nasty. You could very well be moving towards a King of Cups type of energy as well. So it's almost like getting out of this relationship is what helps put you more in touch with your own deeper emotions and intuition. And at the same time, it could be that this King of Pentacles is moving with the Chariot, which opens you up to this King of Cups. So, but there's just a lot of healing also coming through here. Something that's really healing about this ending. But what I'm really finding interesting here is that we have Justice with the Tower and the Ace of Cups coming in at this bottom row, right? And so I feel a couple of things from this as well. So if you're leaving a relationship and you're calling it quits or thinking of calling it quits on a relationship that, you know, very much could have been very long term. It could also have been a very strong soulmate connection, potentially with a Taurus, Capricorn, water sign here. That was the strength. Like it's like leaving the relationship becomes your strength. It looks like kind of like resting in it is the challenge. If you stick around in this relationship, it is going to hinder your ability to heal and tap into your own intuitive messages and nature. But that being said, this Justice and the Tower are coming in. So again, more Scorpio energy with that Tower. So again, you may have a Scorpio coming into your life and it being like this karmic payout for you, right? Which feels like super powerful. So you may have a water sign coming in to offer their cup of love to you, and it could be quite a shock. I mean, with that Tower, that's that awakening genius coming in. It's like usually there's like a lightning strike coming down into that crown chakra on the Tower. It could also be that it's sitting in the challenge position because it's like you're in this energy of just trying to like heal and make it through. And like this comes in and it could feel a bit like is this going to be more of the same, you know, kind of energy. You may not quite feel ready for something new. It's kind of what I'm feeling there. Now, what's interesting as well is in our outcome position, we have the healing card. It says pause to receive. And this whole center is talking about your healing with the Four of Swords, the Sun, and the Nine of Wands. It's like you're protecting yourself and trying to heal from the past. And with it being the center, it's like the strongest message in the spread. And then we have a healing outcome. So that's really nice because I think whatever you're doing is working. Specifically if it's leaving this past relationship behind, as we've already talked about. So we have the Nine of Swords, the Hierophant, and the Strength card. I do feel like you are definitely healing, but it's almost like this King of Cups person. It doesn't have to be a water sign. It could just be somebody who's very deep into their emotions, very sensitive, loving person. We're getting more Taurus energy here, Leo and Leo as well. So all kinds of signs popping through, but with this healing row being the outcome, I do feel like you're a little bit worried about committing once again. It does feel like there's some fear of commitment after what you've just kind of experienced with the past relationship. But with it being in the outcome and it also being says pause to receive healing. It could very well be that you're not quite ready for this shocking love offer. Okay, so let's see what other details we can get. We have the Nine of Swords, the Two of Pentacles. Yeah, you're not sure if you want a new start with that Fool. I'm trying to decide by the Hierophant. Because your relationship from the past, that commitment that you had, could have very well been a marriage, specifically with the King and Queen of Pentacles. I see that as like spouse counterparts. Yeah. And I think it did a number on your... Part of what you're healing from is like... the ending of this commitment has really done a number on your self-esteem, or just your self-worth, kind of, is what I'm picking up on. Like, and I think that plays into how much time and effort and energy you put into it, while this person was just being a little sneaky turd. And the Strength card, what do we have out? Yeah. You don't want another heartbreak. You're still healing from a heartbreak, and you definitely don't want to deal with a player game playing energy, right? Which is essentially what you've just come out of. And so I feel like the outcome here is just talking about, you know, take some time to heal from this past situation. Even as you do have this King of Cups energy coming in, it may serve you to kind of go into a bit of a hermitage with that Four of Swords. You can see that he's just resting. Kind of go into quietness and do some reflecting, some healing. Just take some time for yourself. And I don't necessarily think that means that this new love offer won't happen in the future. It's just, I think you're going to want to wait, based on what the cards are saying here. So that's looking pretty good, Aries. I would, I guess for the middle of September, just pay attention to those intuitive hits. And I think in order to do so, you have to get away from this past energy. I feel like they cloud your ability to really see. And that could be on purpose on their part. Like they are kind of a trickster energy. So I hope that was helpful, Aries. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.